never used.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Oh, I was waiting for the song.
Well, I haven't played it yet.
I was like getting ready to sing.
Went live and never played the song. Oh my god!
I've never played the song.
Oh.
What the bloody hell is going on here, man?
Well, hurry up before somebody comes in.
You're listening to 420radio.ca, Canadian Cannabis Radio.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
You like music, you like weed, well, we gonna be good friends indeed. This is how much I like more than smoking trees. They'll make you dance the do-si-do and teach you how the chiba grows. Smoke a bowl on the 420 radio show. On Lifestyle Radio.
There, that's better.
Yeah, that. I've been doing this for 20 years. I think I'd know what button to push.
Now I feel like I belong.
What's that?
Now I feel like I belong. So I'm gonna wait until we get some people in here, and then I'll put a poll up.
All right.
Ooh, a poll.
How do I share the link?
You can go to the. Hang on a second.
Facebook.
Oh, I shared it
I just
today.
shared it on Facebook.
Okay.
I will send you the links to share. Just hang on a minute, please. Hold, please.
Freeze.
Oh, wait. We forgot. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the 420 radio show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just talking amongst
These
ourselves
fucking
anyway.
Boneheads don't remember when we're doing a show.
Did you say Stonehead?
No, I said boneheads.
Is that like the same boneheads that forget to push the button?
I pushed the button. It was the wrong button.
All
right, here we are. Me. So, okay, while I'm doing this, we have a guest. Funny that.
We have a special guest tonight.
And
why? Wait. Why is she
so
special?
What makes her special? Because she's my bestie. That's what makes her special.
I see.
Plus, if you don't already know Alexis, you'll understand after you get to know her what makes her so
Can I just make a point out that everybody she has on the show is her bestie? Just saying.
Oh no, but I'm her real bestie.
Oh.
We work with a guy. We work with a guy that everybody in the town of Truro is his friend. He knows everybody, and everybody is his friend.
Nice.
I live in a town of 1,500 people. I probably have seen every face in this town. I just sent you the Facebook live stream.
Oh, the terrible link.
I'm Bobby.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And now I can say welcome to the 420 radio show. And today we're going to have a conversation with Alexis, who is the founder of Canna Camp. Camp Canna? Or Canna Camp? Camp Canna.
Camp Canna.
I should know this by now. This is your third year or second?
This is our 5th year. Yeah, our 5th year.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I only heard about you guys, I think, a year ago or so.
Oh.
Yeah, well, third year Ontario.
Yeah, 5th year Alberta, 3rd year Ontario, 1st year with the national tour, BC, Alberta, and Ontario. Yeah.
Why not every province?
Well, I prefer a slow burn. I don't know about you.
Me too. Yep. That's why I switched back to zigzags.
Nice.
Anyways, tell us about you. What started this, what you do, A, B, C, D, and we'll talk about F, G, and L, and then I'll
Yeah, I guess I'm Alexis Dickson. I'm the founder of Camp Canna, Canada's largest legal consumer focused festival. We started in 2022. I was kind of just looking for an event really to go to, like something for stoners, and I couldn't find anything. So I was like, well, fuck it, how hard could it be? It turns out hard. Just because I found out the legislation wasn't really designed for experiential spending. And so now, 5 years into this, I think we've got a pretty good framework that's been inspected and approved by all levels of government.
Really? That's good.
We've built a national brand, and we have international guests with us every year that want to experience Canadian cannabis culture, which is really cool. And we were able to still have a lot of fun, even within the legal framework. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I advocate for dignified consumption and regulatory equity.
So are they being lenient with you? Are they allowing consumption at the event? Are they allowing vendors?
Yeah, so I have full consumption.
My go-to for the last, I don't know how many Karma Cups have there been now. That's always been my go-to and my staple. And that was a lot of people's in Toronto because they were the first ones to go full out, right? But, as you know, things have changed. And it's nice that the legal community is willing to even think about embracing this. There's some legal producers that started in the legacy market that still go to these events and stuff like that. And it's nice to see that,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's I guess there's a difference between like legacy and legal events. For sure.
Yeah.
I operate in the legal categories just because I'm looking for, I think Canada has an excellent opportunity of being a global thought leader when it comes to cannabis tourism, where we can, have resorts or have it integrated in all of our tourist things. Being able to buy a beverage at a ball game is cool, or being able to go to infused dining or something like that. And as much as like legacy events are amazing, obviously, for the culture and everything like that, I mean, if there are not people operating in a legal capacity, we will never get there. I think that through legalization, the government was kind of just trying to be the cool parent of it. Like, oh yeah, cool, just smoke your weed, but like do it at home. And that's really today still the law. Like in Calgary, you're not able to smoke cannabis anywhere other than at your home. Yeah. And so Ontario like is a little bit.
I have to remember that when I go visit my sister.
Absolutely.
No, it doesn't matter for you.
Yeah, public consumption is not legal everywhere in the country, and therefore
but it is for medical patients. That's the difference.
No, not even medical in Calgary. Public consumption of any kind is not available. You can do so at your home residence, and that is all, unfortunately, which is really a downfall for the medical community and the recreational community for sure. But I think that you can't legalize a really heavily regulated product without creating places for people to consume that. But yeah, Camp Canna is all consumption all throughout. We're actually the very first public permitted event in the country. We have on-site sales, so there is a way to purchase cannabis through a legal retail channel right on site. And then we have brands activating in experiential marketing with consumers by playing ball, doing laser shows, fun things.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that kind of stuff, although my body doesn't, so I can't go anymore. But it's nice.
I mean, we have people from all different ages that are able to do a lot of different things, but there's something for everyone. We do yoga, sound baths, live music. If you can sit in a chair, you can come to Camp Canna.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, just to correct you, and I don't like doing it, but I always do.
He likes to look things up.
Perfect. Did you look it up?
I did. Medical cannabis is exempt from Calgary's strict prohibition on public recreational cannabis consumption. You may smoke
So
or
where can
vape
you
medical
consume that?
cannabis in public, but only in areas where smoking tobacco is permitted under the City of Calgary's smoking and vaping bylaw.
Right.
So anywhere so that you can use tobacco, you can, as a medical patient, can
Oh,
smoke
that's like
cannabis.
Ontario.
Yeah.
Does Alberta ban smoking in public? Like,
Yeah,
do they have
do in
consumption
Calgary.
They have
areas?
designated areas,
Yeah.
but they have designated areas for smoking.
Yeah, but so did New Brunswick when I went there. And you know where they were? There was 3 of them in all of the area that I was in. 3. And I would have had to drive 25 minutes to get there, to go outside, to stand in a little tiny friggin' area and smoke a joint, which is not practical.
What
Really?
are you talking about?
Sorry, hang on.
Okay, like I live right beside New Brunswick. I'll smoke a joint anywhere.
Maybe it was Nova Scotia. I can't remember. I hit all
I
3
live in Nova Scotia. I smoke a joint everywhere.
but just
I've
because you
sat
do
on my
it doesn't
step
mean it's
talking
legal.
to a cop while smoking a joint. Right?
Yeah, but you're on your property.
I don't care what fucking property
I mean,
I'm on.
people push the rules all the time. Like in
I'm not
Florida,
even
it's
push.
not legal.
I'm not even pushing the rules. I have medical need. I will use my medicine as I see fit.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And then, but if you were to attend like provinces like Manitoba, you know, it's not accessible in every province. It's different per municipality. There's municipalities in this country that still don't even have access to a retail store. Definitely, it's unfortunate that we're seeing 8 years into legalization that it's still
8 years.
in this, but we are seeing a lot of growth, especially in Alberta. I think Alberta is really leading the way when it comes to cannabis tourism, but a lot of provinces are right behind us.
I have a cannabis-friendly Airbnb.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do I. How is that doing for you?
You know what? I didn't put cannabis on it last year, but this year I am, and I'm jacking up the price too because I'm. You know, I get a lot of truckers saying, I've only got 6 hours to sleep. Can I stay there and get a discount? I'm like, yeah, no. Right? But I will say that like I'm at the very north end of Lake Superior in Terrace Bay. And but I'm in town and the highway goes right through. 17 goes right through. But there isn't really a lot of reason to stop here overnight, unfortunately. We've got 2 hotels that are hardly full, but we have a few weekends when, you know, there's a lot of biking tours that go through and that kind of thing. But I thought there'd be more people up here, to be honest.
Fair.
Yeah, maybe marketing it out as a cannabis, like a cannabis-friendly space, might get you some more traction.
I always have. I just added it to the actual description on Airbnb. Yeah. I heard a few years ago that Airbnb had added cannabis-friendly to their list of things, but I've never seen that before. So I just put it on my profile.
Whatever happened to what's her name?
Airbnb.
What was it?
Airbnb.
Yeah, Airbnb.
Yeah, she rebranded it and changed the name, everything, moved it down to the U.S. And but I don't think that even that took off for her. She's not really doing much of anything.
No, that's too bad.
Yes, it is, because it was a good concept.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like about that platform was that you couldn't stay in places with your children.
Well, because of the cannabis.
So you can smoke a joint and have it delivered right in front of your child if you're at home.
Yep.
I mean, if you're not exercising every liberty you have. You know.
In our great province, you can go to the same store and get your liquor, your pot, and your candy, and then bring it home to have with your kid.
Your children can go in the cannabis side of the store in
No,
Nova
but
Scotia?
all of our cannabis stores are inside our liquor stores.
Yeah, I don't really like that about Nova Scotia. I would really not enjoy that. I feel like that's really unfortunate because there's a lot of people that consume cannabis that are recovering from alcoholism, and then they're just kind of got to walk through the alcohol just to get to the medicine. It seems kind of silly to me.
That was kind of our point.
Yeah.
Redundant.
Hmm.
You know, it's
It's not even redundant. It's dangerous.
yeah, it is.
Well, here in Ontario, you can take your kids into the liquor store with you or the beer store and
I
pick
used
up
to go with my mom all the time when I was a baby.
Yeah. And you can fill up a one of those little carts with, you know, as much booze as you want, and there's no limit on how much you can purchase. And you can walk out with all the booze and your kid, but if you want to go pick up a pre-roll or a beverage from the local dispensary, you got to leave your kid either in the car or standing outside the store alone. How is that safe?
Yeah, I don't like that.
I think somebody should volunteer to get their kid kidnapped, and I think that would change.
My kids are all grown up now, so I can just walk into the store with them.
I guess I have a 9-year-old we can offer.
Do you take your kids with you into the store? Do they allow
No,
it?
you can't.
No, you're not allowed to take them into the store. No.
You know, a lot of stores even have the barricade that you can't get past
Up here
until
as
they
well.
age check you. But
Yep.
you can't even bring in your child to that spot. I know because you guys know that I push a stroller around if I don't want to carry things and I'm going for a
I
walk.
remember that. Yeah.
I literally put my tripod in the stroller just so I could watch the Blue Jays game during the World Series. And I went into a weed store and I brought the stroller in and I had the blanket over the top. And I said, don't worry, there's no baby in here. And the lady came over and said, just so you know, I need to see. I have to make sure that there is no child in the store. It's not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's a rule or regulation I would like to see changed. One of many.
100%. Yeah. Probably the
Yeah,
most important one.
That's another thing I really love. When I said special guest, Alexis is very knowledgeable when it comes to regulations and throwing events and what is required when it comes to permits and that sort of thing. So I know you've also been doing a little bit of that lately too, right?
Yeah. If the thing is that I said this at a conference not too long ago, but legalization did not happen off of the effort of 10 people. It was generations of people, right? So we need, now that we know that we have an inspected and compliant framework, we need more people doing what we're doing at Camp Canna. And so I offer consulting now, and we've been helping a couple people on some projects, which is really great. Just, I found an interesting statistic. 27% of international travelers are looking for something cannabis related to do. And right now, international travelers can attend Camp Canna, and that's about it. So I can fit 750 of them, but there's 1% of them is 330,000 people. And so times that by 27, that's how many people are coming into this country this year looking for something cannabis related to do. I can't service them all, but I can teach people the framework and help them get whatever vision they have off the ground. And it all just helps us because once there's more events, once there's more of these frameworks being executed in the right way, the government's going to have no choice but to listen, just like with legalization. So that's been keeping me busy for sure as we're getting into our busy season. So that's been fun, but I'm excited to see all the new ideas come through and what people want to build because they're all pretty cool.
We need to be able to have events and be able to serve cannabis and use cannabis just like they do with alcohol everywhere. And now in Ontario, because, Mr. Doug there decided that it was going to be legal to drink on the beach and in parks.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
So, but yet if I pulled out a joint I've been smoking down at the lakefront watching the air show every year. But if I smoked a joint now, these days, at the air show, sitting there by the water, the police would come over. I mean, it's just inevitable, right?
Well,
But-
what really bothers me
But I could
about
sit
that
there and get
specific rule
sloshed with a
change,
six-pack in my bag, right? So,
that specific rule change just shows how like regulatory unequal, like it's not equal, it's not comparable. We're comparing apples to oranges. Everybody's like, oh, just make cannabis like alcohol. Until we can split up a 28-gram bag and serve it in half-gram formats and leverage that 28-gram bag to be a profit, the tourism and hospitality industry is not going to be sustainable, just like the legal industry is not sustainable with the heavy excise taxes that they have and among everything else. But the one thing that really bothered me with the BYOB at festivals is what they called it, is that you still can't have on-site sales in Ontario. It's still not
Nope.
possible to purchase cannabis if you're at any event, festival, adult only venue. You can do that here, but you can't do it there. We can bring our own alcohol, and if municipalities in Ontario have rules against public consumption of alcohol, the provincial government is mandating them to change them. If the provincial government could mandate the municipalities to follow the provincial ruling, it wouldn't be different every county you move. The rules are different in every single county. You have to look at all three levels of government, and they counteract each other quite often. So you're kind of up to interpretation, you're up to your relationship with your inspector. There are no licenses for events or cannabis tourism. There are no licenses or ways to make an event minors prohibited by law.
Some towns are making Airbnbs and short-term rentals permittable, and you have to go to the town and sign paperwork and let them know what you're doing and stuff like that. When I moved here, I was expressly told that I was not allowed to buy the house and rent it out. I mean, I signed a document that I wouldn't. Seems a little excess, but whatever it is. The townships have a lot of pull, unfortunately. If I wanted to try a cannabis event up here, I don't think it would work at all. We have one legal store here, and the next closest ones are an hour away. We have no reservation weed at all up here, from basically Magnatowan right up to the Manitoba border. I believe that it's because of the addiction issues up here, right?
So do you rely on the Ontario Cannabis Store then?
Yeah, we have. There's a store here, my Cannabis, here in Terrace.
Yeah, no, I mean the one that comes through the mail, the OCS.
You can order. You can order through OCS. Yes, I don't use OCS. I go right to the store here.
One of my most frustrating things about OCS is when I hear about this really awesome product, like say for example, we got the new Nugs apple drink, the hash apple rosin beverage. I went right to OCS and was like, punched it in, and underneath it said, "See your local store."
There are, you know what? I was just talking with Matt about that yesterday. They are doing that a lot with different products because they want to make them more exclusive.
Yeah, that's fine, but I don't know where to get it. And now it's like a mad goose chase trying to find these things. And then when you do find a store that has it, good luck. They only have like 2 because everybody else was looking for them too.
Are you talking about Sheesh making them more exclusive for the happy drinks?
Just that.
OCS?
Yeah, because they're like they're the mafia, right? Like they get to choose what strains of cannabis and what products are being held, and they're literally sitting on a massive warehouse in Guelph that has so much cannabis in it that will probably expire before it even has a chance to go out to people because they're not ordering.
Well, this is another reason why you're seeing a lot of specials at local stores, because they're buying at special prices and selling it. I saw for the first time they had a special here for 420, 25% off, and I have never seen a discount like that for anything in a legal store, right? Canna Cabana is notorious for dropping their prices way below normal and selling it off real quick, right? But they buy massive amounts. Little stores can't do that. Like the store up here,
they also sell your information so they can get that discount through a data deal. Yeah.
But little stores that are scattered all over Northern Ontario,
they don't have the money.
They don't have that access. I mean, half the time, like winter time, sometimes you're waiting 2-3 weeks to get anything because the trucks can't get up here. We have a lot of accidents up here on Highway 17 because of moose and other animals, and stupid idiot drivers. What do you want? Sorry.
Yeah, but even ordering through the OCS is extremely crazy. I had a store owner
order from OCS is seeds.
Oh no, I mean the stores. So when the stores only get specific days and specific times, they're like, this is your window to order. So they go on, even if I'm like, hey, I called the store in Campbellford, I'm like, I really want this product. They're like, well, our order day is Thursday at 9:30, so we'll put it in, but if it's gone by then,
don't order your quota every time, you'll get fined.
Yeah, I don't, and this whole pay to play that some of the dispensaries have, I'm like, I don't know. There's so many rules and regs that I'm like, I could talk forever about the things that piss me off in the cannabis space.
So I have to let this little one out for a minute. Do we want to listen to some music, or do we want to have you guys continue the conversation for a little bit? I'll only be a minute.
We can keep talking.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, go do your thing.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have fun.
Okay. I did have a question that I wanted to ask Alexa, because I have the pleasure of going to all 3 of your camps this summer. And I noticed that each camp is different, and not just because it's in a different province, but the activities and the things that are going on in each camp is different. So maybe can you walk us through, start with BC and tell us what that's going to look like?
Yeah, I think each province is different, mostly just because the culture is different, depending on where you're going, which is really interesting. Nikki's just dying off a dab in the background. Sorry. But nonetheless, yeah, I guess I'll start in Alberta, because Alberta is our grassroots. It's where we started. Alberta's very we're campers. We got our toys. We like to stay in campers and tents and those kinds of things. So Alberta's kind of a grassroots environment. We are all camping, group camping, big bonfires, all the things.
No cabins, right?
No cabins in Alberta. It's just like a camping event. And then you go to BC, and it's kind of our middle level experience. So we are in a summer camp. We're in cabins with bunks, shared accommodations. We have a 5-star dining chef. So we have the best food out of any event. I'd put money on that. And, but nonetheless, bunch of activities, a nice lake, which is really great. And then Ontario is like the Hamptons of summer camps. Our venue in Ontario is world renowned. People send their children there from all over the world. They have so many different activities to do there, like the inflatables on the lake, paddleboarding, kayaking, rock climbing, archery, the whole thing. And so that's definitely our more luxe experience that we host. And it kind of fits the vibe, because Ontario, their cabin urban campers. They like have cottage country and those kinds of things. So it's kind of nice for that community. Each one kind of matches the vibe that the consumers are looking for. And we have people that travel like Marijane, like all over the place. So it's kind of nice because if even though you attend in Ontario, like you may come to Alberta at the end of the summer and it's a completely different experience, but the vibe and the program, like we don't change any of it. It's always the same program, same framework, different province, different place, and it's such a different vibe, different experience. It's pretty cool, actually, just to see the difference. But yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite. It's probably Alberta, just because I've been here for so long. But yeah, they all have their own little perks. I'm really excited about BC. I haven't actually been to the venue yet, which was similar to Ontario. I didn't attend the venue before we hosted it the first year there. But I'm hoping that it's going to be just like Ontario and better than I'm picturing. It's going to be awesome. The brands we have in BC are like legends. Great Gardener Farms is known around the world, and he's going to be there. He smoked hash with the Prince of Morocco. He was just sharing on Instagram. So like this is so cool. And we just get to chill with them all weekend and get to know them and their flowers. And yeah, it's going to be so much fun.
Here's a fun fact.
Yep.
Marijane got in between Tommy Chong and Cheech's legs.
I love that.
That's not true.
You were on your knees.
There was a table between us.
Fair enough.
I do want to point out that as many activities as Camp Canna does have, it is very chill as well. Nothing is mandatory other than probably food, because we don't want you to die. Do you know what I mean? But like, if you don't want to go do the kayaking, you don't have to. Like Timmy and I brought our own floaties and we just chilled in the water. It was so cool. Yeah, we love that.
think that's like one of my favorite things to talk about in opening ceremonies is just kind of like that you don't have to earn rest here. You know, a lot of people think that they have to earn rest in daily life, or like they have to live in such performance mode that they forget to just be present. And I do like that people are able to put their phones away and not worry about it for the weekend and just float if they want to. I think the best last year was Nathan having that nap on top of the igloo, like, or the inflatable iceberg thing, just for so long. He's just out there sleeping.
Which was kind of like daredevilish too, because like if he rolled off,
he did end up falling off of it.
Because splash.
It's a pretty far fall, but yeah, he landed in water. He was good.
It's funny. The one, there's so many things that I love. I can't say the one thing I loved about camp because there's so many things that I loved about it. But like Nathan, for example, just a guy who came with one other person, him and his buddy, had no idea what to expect. And he was the one that started the group chat this year because he's so excited to see his friends again. And honestly, that's what happens. We built this little like family of people that it's so cool to see so many different people from different walks of life and different ages. Like, do you remember those old ladies last year? I can't even say old because they're not that old, but like older ladies that were like, what did they say? They were like, "We're so glad we came. This was the best time ever." Like,
I'm pretty sure they did mushrooms for the first time out there. They're like grandmas on mushrooms. I thought that was fucking awesome. That
you can come stay at my bed and breakfast and do market mushrooms in my backyard and hang out with my bears. Like,
nice. I think I like all the different ages that come. You know, that was probably one of our biggest questions in the camp concierge calls this year was, am I too old? A lot of people ask that question, am I too old to come? And it's like, no, you're good. Our average camper's 36. Like, we have a bunch of different age groups and everybody seems to have their own little niche thing, or they do everything. And last year we had a lady in her 60s that did absolutely every single activity. So
people end up in groups, you know, like when I was at Gunjanistas helping out there, and I noticed that people come in groups and they make their own little party. And then I mean, the same thing happened at Vapor Central. A lot of the times you'd see groups of people in their own little niche doing their, the geeks are over here, the nerds are over there kind of thing, right?
I don't think that happens much at camp because everybody does everything together. It's
Okay.
very inclusive.
imagine-
Yeah.
You have things scheduled so that everybody can do it.
Yeah,
it's
the
a
whole
huge,
camp.
huge group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, for example, Al, when we did rock climbing last year and archery, everybody went. Like, everybody went. Even if you didn't participate, everybody went because they wanted to go cheer on everybody else. And like when we're sitting around the fire listening to the band, everybody is together. Some people are dancing, some people are just like vibing out, some are chatting. But it's like a group community type family feeling. Like, okay, family might be a little too far, but
Well, I don't know, actually. Like, I was
all our family.
I was thinking about it today because I was like, I grew up in a family that hosted family reunions. I don't know if that was something big when maybe you were younger, but that used to be a big thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I don't think that really happens anymore. And, Camp Canna very much is like a family reunion to me. Like, these are campers that I love so much, and they become such a big part of it. And because of them, I live my dream, and I'm just so excited to see them year after year. And there's some people that have been to like literally everyone, and so they very much are family like. And I think that that's the cool part, is that there's so many different people, so many different backgrounds. We all have different jobs, different lives, but at camp, we've done such a good job of creating, like, we break the barrier right fast. Like, we get you right into talking to everybody, and, we set the vibe. We make sure that people understand that this is inclusive space. Our team does training to make sure that we can keep it that way. And yeah, it's all been pretty good so far. It's,
Have they?
I get excited.
Have they sent any sneaky people out to check and see what you're doing during the event?
Yeah, I have been inspected from every single level of government, and I have passed with flying colors for each level. So the only time that something had come back was there was a fire extinguisher that should have been mounted to the wall, but that was our venue's failure and not ours. So that was really like the only thing that's ever come up. But
they
yeah,
sent
Health
in the
Canada.
fire department, didn't they?
Oh yeah, Fire Marshal, County, Health Canada, AGLC, RCMP, everyone. But when you understand, you need to know. And if you do know, then you can have some confidence in what you're doing. And if you're not confident, then you can always hire someone who is, to make sure that you are doing it the right way. And I unfortunately didn't have a single person hire when I started, so I kind of had to figure it out the hard way. And I made some mistakes, some of them expensive, some of them not. And I think the nice part is that, I've got it kind of narrowed down to a formula, and that formula works. And so you just stick to it.
What about sampling? Are they allowing it?
So sampling isn't open to consumers. And I'm one that honestly thinks that we shouldn't be sampling consumers, to be completely honest. I would rather just have a place where consumers can purchase.
There.
That's fair. We're going to stay disagreeing.
Is the consumer. And yet they don't put the focus on the computer, or the consumer. They put the focus on the workers.
Yeah, because that's how the legislation is designed. So actually, you're not the customer to the brand. It's really broken. You're not the customer. The store's the customer, right? And you are that store's customer. Yeah. So right now, the legislation is very much like...
And yet the store isn't allowed to talk to you about it. You're just, here's your package. Goodbye.
In a limited capacity, they are. But yeah, it's definitely very governed. I think that sampling consumers would be a disservice to the entire industry. I think people need to be buying weed, not having it for free. I can't even remember a time in the legacy days where I would get free weed from my guy. I would smoke a joint with him. We would have a coffee, but he definitely wasn't giving me free bags of weed, and I never had that affect my relationship or my loyalty to that product. So I think in a legal capacity, it would make more sense to have opportunities for dignified consumption where people can purchase cannabis in an experiential marketing basis and consume it with dignity. And if that's the case, then sampling really becomes a moot point. You don't really get to sample liquor at the bar, but you can purchase liquor at the bar, and you can go
into
to
the grocery store and somebody's standing out with a tray in the
Yeah, you
store, would you
absolutely
like to
can
sample
sample
this?
liquor, but in a
Then
bar setting, you
Yeah, but
you
cannot
that's
should be
sample
able to do the
liquor.
same with cannabis.
I don't, yeah, that's fair. And we're always going to disagree on that. I'm looking at this from an economic standpoint, and I would
Okay.
like to see the industry thrive like it did pre-legalization. And there's obviously going to be barriers for that. And yes, would it be cool to get free weed all the time? Sure. But I mean, when it comes to actually having a way to pay bills, I think that we need to be selling weed and not giving it away for free, because what we're seeing in our sampling events is that they're bankrupting companies. That's what we're seeing. People are just a trick or treat sampling culture now for bud tenders and retail stores. And unfortunately, that's not really moving the needle for these brands. And we're still losing really, really great products. Or worse, all of our brands that are really good at making good quality bud are switching to exporting because they get quite a lot more when they sell it to the global market than keeping it in the country.
Well,
And
you have access
Mhm.
to global brands in the U.S. that you don't have here, and
Mhm.
you have legal brands and that you don't have access to anywhere else in the world. Although
Yeah.
Canada does export, I think Jamaica, they're doing stuff there.
Yeah,
But
Canada's the largest exporter right now, which is
yeah,
really great, but they get like, I think it's like up to $1 more a gram, if they sell their weed outside of the country versus selling it within the country. So unfortunately, what we're going to see eventually happen is that there is no great quality bud on the shelf in Canada. It's all being exported because they need to just keep their businesses floating.
well, that's why you
I
need to
just
learn how to grow on your own. I was waiting for Marcel to say something. I knew he would chirp up.
can I just want to jump in real quick and go back to the sampling topic because
Mhm.
there is a discussion too around the fact that bud tenders are the ones that are getting the samples. However, they're not the ones that are actually in charge of purchasing for the store,
Mhm.
and they're not selling based on what they personally like or
Mhm.
based
No,
on who gave them
they're
what.
getting
And
what
if
they
you
get.
when you go into the liquor store, or sorry, the grocery store, or even the beer store, and they give you a sample of wine or whatever, they're not giving you a whole bottle either, which is what's happening in the cannabis industry, where they're
You
giving
know,
away an entire, like, how about I have a dab bar and you sample one little of my, do you know what I mean? I'm not going to give you a whole gram to take home with you. That seems
And they have to
gross.
be excised. So they
bro,
have to
Yeah.
pay the excise tax on
bro,
every sample that they send out.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's, yeah. And the CRA is cracking down on them. There's a lot of businesses in hot water right now over that. And I think that, yeah, it's unfortunately not the best economically for the industry.
do you remember
Mhm.
when you went to before this legalization stuff?
Mm.
You'd go to an event, doesn't matter what event, but you'd go to an event and there's Shatterizer standing there. Would you like to sample this? Would you like to sample this? And 50 other vendors are standing there. You want to sample, 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 sample. Uh,
Mhm.
it attracts customers, right? Uh,
Yeah, but that was illegal and they could sell you a product
this is
there.
before legalization.
Hmm.
Yeah, if Shatterizer was standing there now, they wouldn't be able to do that
Yes, they
because
can. They can do samples, but they have to be verified that they're bud tenders.
that's well, and they'd
They're
also all
actually
have to
not
be
supposed to
excised.
be sampling bud tenders. They're sampling retail store licensees, which is the biggest misconception with the sampling program, because it's the people who own the actual license, not the people that shop there. And in provinces like Alberta, you're only allowed to sample two per SKU per license per year, which means
Wow.
if I own 420 with, I don't know, 100 stores, and I have like 300 bud tenders that work for me and they go to a sampling event, I can only give two of them a product, and then I can't sample that product to that store chain for the next 12 months. So it's like that doesn't, even just the tracking system for it all is kind of messed up. And absolutely, sure, in an illicit market, there is definitely better experiential things that you can be doing. It's just not regulated. And so when you operate in a regulated environment with $1 million licenses, unfortunately, you got to follow the rules. We can definitely push back on those rules where we can. That's where we've pushed back. And now we have on-site sales on Camp Canna. And I think that that creates a lot of value because
So
brands before.
the legal producers that you have at this event are allowed to sell to
No,
their
the
age.
So
No,
the
it's
legal
actually
producers on
really
site
smart.
have their products through a legal retail channel, which would be in Ontario delivery or in Alberta on-site sales, BC delivery. And so that would be the approved retail channel, just depending on what the legislation is in that province. So people can go to the retail store, purchase what they want, and the products available are from the brands that we have on site. So you can purchase, try, get to know the people behind
But
the
there's no
brands.
mobile retail store there.
Yeah,
Well,
there is in Alberta. There's
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
on-site sales.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's different. That's interesting. Having like a bus that's a legal store pull into your event.
Well, we have them behind the bar, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Al, in Ontario, it's like a shop, but it's just like a guy who has his cat. He's like at his cabin. And if you need any assistance, you can go over and see him. Otherwise, you just go right online and you punch in your order and order, you just make sure you put Camp Canna with your name. So that way they know. Then the gentleman leaves and he makes multiple runs, 2
Are
runs a
you
day.
allowed to bring your own?
Oh, yeah. You can bring your own cannabis.
Mm-hmm.
Does
Yeah.
it have to be
But if you
legal
run
cannabis
out-
that you bring?
Well, if it's cannabis you grew,
If it's within your legal limit to carry, you're good. Homegrown is preferred. Lots of people like to share their homegrown at camp. We don't participate with any illicit brands though, within camp.
What I'm curious what you mean by an illicit brand. Are you talking about reservation, res
legacy.
stores, like that?
Well, I call that the sovereign market,
Or buddy
and I'm a pretty big
down
advocate
the
of
road.
the sovereign
You're
market.
talking about buddy down the road.
I'm talking about anybody who's unregulated and unlicensed.
What you would call legacy, Al.
Yeah.
I like the legacy market. Marcel, wake up, buddy.
I think it's not a matter
forgot
of
I was
liking the
muted.
legacy market or not liking the legacy market. It's a matter of owning and operating a business and what legal
I get
ramifications
that.
come to that. Yeah.
As a consumer though,
Yep.
okay, up until 20 years ago, we were going to the guy down the road. We didn't give a shit where it came from, who grew it, what was in it. We just wanted our weed. Then now, I mean, things have changed a lot. I want product that's safe, that I like, that isn't going to break my balls as far as price goes. And I do grow as well.
Yeah.
So if I get a deal, if I'm down in Sudbury and I go to a store on a reservation, I have no problem supporting Indigenous cannabis. None at all.
Absolutely.
I don't have that option here. So my options here living in the middle of fucking nowhere are mail order from OCS, going to the legal store, ordering from the res in BC or wherever, okay, like doing mail order, or growing my own. Those are my only choices. Or, a buddy down the road. Right? There's always going to be a buddy down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Al, do you find that with legal business, like legal events, that they have a certain sort of feeling to it that's not really
like a car show?
Okay, so here's
An
the
artificial feeling.
This is the thing with Camp. Yeah, this is the thing with Camp Canada, though. It has more of the legacy style feel as what you're describing as, like, like when you go and you hang out with your friends and it feels like you can.
Here's an example. Before I moved up here, I went down to the last lift. It happened to be the last lift that they did.
I remember that.
And we didn't even go in. I sat outside in booth number 0 with Mary Jane and Timmy all day, and I see all my friends walking by. I hang out with Sarah Sunday, and there were, Neve was there, and lots of other people were there that I've come through the community with. So it's nice to see that. What I do like is the fact that at events that happen down at the MTCC, the Metro Toronto Convention Center, there are a group of OG community members that have taken it to set up a booth across the street to celebrate the life of people that we've lost in the community, like Tracy Curley and other people. And you go over there, and it's like, that's where everybody is. They're not inside. They're not.
Yeah,
they're not.
Well, we some of us were inside because we were working in there, but then when we had a chance, we were over there.
Yeah. So I mean, that community feeling has carried through, but as we know more and more, I mean, let's use an example: the GMM, an event that I have been going to in Al's pocket for 10, 12 years, and I've been myself. How many people do you think were there, MJ?
3, 4?
No, there was probably about 50, maybe
Really?
60.
The usual suspects?
Yeah, pretty much. Except Neve didn't show up until after the march.
No police escort this year?
No. No, and there's construction down there too right now. So the first GMM I went to was the last Freedom Festival. And my God, there were 40,000 people there probably, and a cloud over Queen's Park. Then they decided to put trees in, so we couldn't put a stage up. And then they kept saying, no. Now we do it our own now. But the community is a younger community. The last big GMM, the trash was spewed everywhere. It was disgusting. But it was the young kids. It was the old farts sitting there with the garbage bags picking everything up.
Okay.
So it's a matter of...
On that, we had 2 festivals down here.
Yep.
Every year. One I loved going to.
Was that Harvest Fest?
That was Harvest Fest. Because Harvest Fest was the ideal festival. It had vendors, it had entertainment, it had education. All geared towards medical. The other one had parties. Literally. That's all it was just parties. And it was the younger crowd.
That's funny.
That's my point. You'll see all the old farts over here and the young people over there.
Well, we didn't have just old, but that was the cool thing about Harvest Fest is we had all ages.
Yeah.
So even for our entertainment, we had to be able to...
And it was children friendly. You were allowed to bring your children.
Well, yeah, because it's family oriented. It's medicine. But legalization throws a wrench into everything because fuck the patient.
I'm not sure how much legalization. I mean, this is 8 years ago now. I think that it started the issues with things like that, and then
it was the demise of medical cannabis.
COVID killed it, dude. Those events, and they're just coming back. They're just starting to come back.
COVID had nothing to do with that.
With canceling of events?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean for that event, but that's not the issue. Why we don't have the events anymore. It's because of the government. Right? They
Yeah.
don't want us teaching people about medical benefits of cannabis because people use it as a medicine. They'd stop taking pharmaceuticals. That's the last thing they want.
Well,
So
all of that sounds very similar to what Alexis has built, except it's not for medical.
right.
Although I'm sure there's medical people there, but like you said, with legalization, you're kind of bound with what you can tell people information about cannabis, anyways.
Yeah.
We're not really governed on what we can talk about at Camp Canna. Like we have a lot of people talk about the medical benefits. I'm one that believes everybody consumes medicinally, whether they know it or not.
Absolutely.
But that is yeah, we've had some pretty cool conversations. Like we've had a lot of people, like even non-consumers, come to Camp Canna just because they're like curious to learn a little bit. And we've had a doctor one time come and sit and ask a bunch of questions about the ECS and learn and really dive into it. And that was a really cool like Q&A to just like be a part of and just like listen to. And I think like even pre-legalization, like there wasn't exactly, unless you like deep dove into Reddit, there wasn't really like free information. There wasn't a lot of information. You had to really research. It was really word of mouth cannabis. So when you gather, we do share that information. So I can understand what you're saying, Marcel. Like, not having those gatherings, we're not sharing the information. You're not showing the medical benefits. You don't really get to know what ailments it's helped them with. You're just kind of in your own little world. So that's really what I like about campus. It's all different ages, it's all different backgrounds, it's a million different people. We have a vibe, we have a culture, and we're able to operate this within the legal framework. So it is refreshing, to say the least, if you have been disappointed with the event charcuterie board of the legal industry. I think that Camp Canna would surprise you.
Would you like to try some charcuterie?
Yeah, I've never been to the MTCC.
That'd be a good name. That'd be a good name for a shop. Charcuterie weed.
Yeah, I actually thought about building a charcuterie cart, like one of those things that you have, like, so you can get like a mobile charcuterie thing, but then like having a little Zenko on the end with like a disposable cup, and so call it Charcoots, and then you get your little cheese and meat and cracker and your little hoot in a cup. See, we need tourism for that. I'm telling you.
My cousin has a travel agency and is forever flying here and flying there, and he goes and does resort
reviews.
No, more than reviews. He goes for the company before they start promoting this resort as a place to go or selling tickets to it. He goes and does an inspection. Okay. So he gets to go here and there. I asked him, where's the best place to go for cannabis tourism? Instantly, Jamaica. Not Canada, Jamaica. I thought
I had a lot of people from out of the country messaging our website chat this year, asking if it's legal to consume here.
Just don't bring it with you.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, it's not always safe for tourists, because if they book a hotel that doesn't allow smoking, or an Airbnb, like, they can be evicted in the middle of the night, even if they're smoking outside, or so I think that Canada's done a really huge disservice to this industry by not marketing cannabis around the world.
Hotels that allow smoking tobacco that will ask you to leave if you light up a doobie. Mm-hmm. And it's all because of the stigma of that smell.
Yeah. Which it just speaks to the fact that there needs to be lounges.
I'm sorry, I hate the smell of tobacco. And when I walk by somebody who's smoking a cigarette, I don't turn around and go, ew. But that's what we get. We get the looks. We get you shouldn't be doing that.
It's unfair that we don't have lounges already.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not. I mean, we had them and they were taken away. quite abruptly.
Mhm. I think there's a few legislative changes that need to be done to have lounges, but the first thing would be just like standardizing an HVAC system requirement. I think that's the number one thing. And then we have OH&S here. I don't know if you guys have OH&S there, but that's the problem here. It's not even it's not even the government.
Smoke-free thing is the issue that we have here in Ontario.
Yeah, where in Alberta, cigar lounges are legal. So
you can open a cigar lounge. You can open up a hookah lounge here there are some in Toronto.
Which doesn't make sense because if they can open.
So,
right?
Yeah,
most of the hookah places I know of put weed in them. So,
so there is a standard, there's a framework that's approved for indoor consumption of combustibles. So if they would just use that framework and allow it.
You used to be able to go to Shopsies that's in the basement of the Sheraton Hotel in Toronto. It's now the West End Hotel. And I think it's still there. And they have a cigar bar there with a sommelier. With a cigar version of a sommelier, a cigarier, whatever you call it. And they have private rooms where you can go and have a thing. But I can't go out for dinner and then go have a joint with my dessert.
Yeah, or even just infused food or beverages, I would be cool with if it was just a little bit at a time. I would be cool with that. I think the main thing for a business standpoint is just getting proper insurance. Like there's only one insurance policy in the country that covers you for serving cannabis. And so once that becomes more standardized and in more provinces, I think people will have less risk. And then the government will be a little bit more lenient towards it, because if there's no liability risk, then the government shouldn't be worried about public liability.
Well, you know what? It should be, if you open up a restaurant and you serve meat, the vegans don't have to go there. Okay? But the meat people will go there, but you should be able to do the same thing with pot. If, I don't particularly enjoy being around people who are consuming massive amounts of alcohol. I used to bounce for a living. And I
used to consume massive amounts of alcohol, not as a living, but I just did it.
Well, no, but my point, Marcel, is I don't like that atmosphere. I don't like drunk people.
Me either.
I enjoy being around with other stoners because there's a like-mindedness going on there. I don't always get along with other stoners, but I don't always get along with people who don't consume. But there should be a time and a place where, as a consumer of cannabis, I can go and have a tea outside if needed, and consume a joint. Like you can go here to the cafe and sit outside and have a smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
but are you getting the joint?
Luckily, it's legal in Ontario to smoke joint cannabis in wherever you can smoke tobacco. You can smoke. But it's up to
See, I'm a little different though, because I can go and smoke a joint anywhere where people are smoking joint or smoking cigarettes, and they wouldn't know.
Well, you smoke tobacco with hash, dude.
I smoke tobacco with hash and tobacco with oil.
Yeah, so there is. There's
all
no
they
cannabis.
smell is tobacco.
Correct. There's no cannabis smell. It's the smell that shoved us up until 8 years ago in behind by the trash.
But that smell is still shoving people, because I see people complaining about it all the time.
Sure.
Oh my God!
I get dirty looks here.
Pardon?
I sat and smoked a joint on the beach last year, and I got dirty looks from people. You know,
I'd
Yeah,
love
but
for
it's
one of my fucking neighbors to come and complain about the smell. I'll grow fucking cat piss next year.
one of the ladies that walks her dog past my place every day. I was sitting outside on my front porch, smoking a joint, and she walked by going like this. And then she says, "Something smells good." And then her daughter, who was behind her, said, pointed at me, right? And she just looked at me and went,
But it smelled
I
good.
But it
I think
smelled.
that's gonna leave though, because you got to think of like we are the very first generation of legal parents, like at the end of the day, where cannabis always has been reminiscent of home to me. I was raised by a cannabis consumer. And so like for me, I've never had a problem with the smell. It smells like home. Like that's what it is to me. And to my daughter, it'll probably be similar as that. And this whole generation of children that are being raised by cannabis consumers, it's not the stigma that it once was. Like the average cannabis consumer in Canada is 36 years old and has a master's degree. That's like, you know what I mean? Like that's our average consumer. And so if that's the case, and even our new consumer market, like their grandmas and grandpas, like the stigma is going to disappear as the generations move on. So I think it's actually quite
Hi,
interesting to
Jamie.
see that it is still a problem, but I think in 10 years it's not going to be a smell problem any longer because you
You
have
know what?
so
I
many.
have to disagree with that because, right off the bat, one of the first battles people had when things
Mm,
went legal was consuming in your living area. My mom lived in a condo. I was staying with her. It
mm,
was very, very quickly discussed about my cannabis use on the veranda. A veranda that faced Mount Pleasant, nothing in between me and Mount Pleasant. So, I mean, somebody could just literally be walking down the street or down the bridle path smoking a joint, and I would get blamed for it because I was known to consume cannabis in this little area of my mom's condo. Um,
I
yeah,
don't
but
think
it's
that's the norm, though. I don't think that is the norm now. I think that the norm is changing.
they've
People are
included
becoming
a
more.
cannabis clause in a lot of condominium agreements when you purchase.
But I mean, condos, you're purchasing drywall in. Like, there's going to be rules no matter what condo you live in. Like, at the end of the day, condos are
But
hard
those
to
rules don't extend
compare
to
the
tobacco.
norm. No, of course not, right? So at the end of the day, I think it's just like what I mean is as the generations change, 10, 20 years from now, the stigma is going to dissolve as
I
well
won't be
because
here
this
then. I
is
don't
the
care
new
about that.
normal.
I'm kidding.
Yeah. I really care about that because I have a 9-year-old daughter, and I think that that's why I take this role that I have in this industry that I'm blessed with to so seriously because I'm shaping her world that she experiences when she turns 18, and she doesn't even realize it yet. So when, she's able to turn 18 in Alberta, and instead of the only thing she can do is going to a bar, I really do hope that there is a cannabis alternative or an alternative to alcohol
we
at
need
that
we
point.
need that. We need
Yeah, and
that
we're
with
seeing it
all
happen.
generations.
Lounges are opening, there's a couple lounges in Vancouver that have been open for a long time. They're opening new ones. There's a new lounge opening in Edmonton right now. We're seeing a lot of shifts. So I'm pretty optimistic on the stigma being dissolved in 20 years. I think that that's pretty fair statement. And
Too
yeah,
long.
I think the youngest children, like that know that their parents consume are being taught that it is a medicine and they're being taught that it is like a tool in their toolbox. At least I know every single parent that I'm around like speaks like that to their children, and that's how I speak to mine. And Everly will tear you up one down and up down the other if you want to talk about not being able to go into the cannabis store or anything like that. And I think 70% of people under the age of 30 don't drink alcohol anymore. The shift is happening. You can't deny it.
I grew up in the
Mhm,
60s in Toronto, in Yorkville.
mhm. Yeah, so very different experiences you and I
Very
are living.
different experience.
Hmm.
And literally, you had to search for your weed. You had to know somebody who knew somebody who maybe knew somebody. But it was there, and you knew it was there. It was part of the culture. Walking down Yorkville in the 60s and 70s, where all the hippies were hanging out, and all the folk music was being played, and all that yummy food that people opened up in their restaurants. They would just invite people to cook food in your kitchen, come and sit in my living room and eat with us. You know, it was totally different. I enjoyed being able to walk around the city, and it was just packed. Even that's changed. Just, you know, growing up.
I used to, in the 80s, I used to drive down from Barrie every 2 weeks and pick up an ounce of hash in Toronto, and then drive back to Barrie. Well, Borden.
And isn't it cool that you can shop out of convenience now? You can literally just go to whatever store is closest.
I've never had that issue, though, because for me, it would be worth it to go that far.
I like being able to walk to a store and look and see what's there, and walk out of the store and go and consume. What I don't like is the fact that you have to do the squish test. It's really the only test that you can do to see if your buds are going to suit you, because I don't really like dry buds. I like them nice and puffy. My rule is if I can get 2 joints out of 1 nug, then that's a nice, you know, that's okay for me.
That's a terrible.
That seems like a small doobie.
They're starting now. Sorry, what?
How about looking at it? Yeah, but how about looking at it from my point of view?
You can't see it. That was my point. You can't see it, touch it,
You can
smell
see it now. You can.
Now you can. That was where I was going with that. Is now they're putting windows in, but that just started a few months ago. So I mean, even up here, I have not seen any product that has a window in it. Yes, and yes, I like that. But literally, the only way that I know if I'm going to purchase that bud is the squish test. Can't smell it. And I've had some instances when I've bought stuff on a recommendation and got home and not, you know, it's like 3 nugs for 1 do. You know, I mean,
that could be how you're busting it up, though, Al, because different weed requires different method of busting.
Correct. Yes, but also the majority, not so much now, at the beginning, the majority of the weed that you bought through the rec market in Ontario, okay, because I don't know the other market, was dry. And that doesn't even happen when you order from somebody in BC. Okay, you usually get tiny buds and they're fluffy and they puff up and they smoke nice and the taste is there.
When was the last time that's happened to you that you got a really dry rec product, though? It's been a while.
This is what I got yesterday.
What'd you buy?
And
well, that makes sense.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
if you're going to buy corporate cannabis, you can expect corporate cannabis.
Correct.
You got to buy different.
But I like products that you can get different strains. Like I like the brick the potluck brick that you can get with 4 different quarters in it. I enjoy the big old bag because I get an indica and a hybrid. Right?
But you're a legacy consumer, so you should
be searching
but I don't
for
have living soil, craft products, making sure that you're always finding something that's craft, because that's the flower that you're used to. Right. So if you're looking for high THC, low cost, of course you can buy potluck, but at the end of the day, you're not looking for that. You're looking for quality. You're looking for a lower THC, a better balance. You might be looking for a heavy indica. You're not shopping for the distillates. You're not shopping for botanical terpenes.
Nope.
And so when you walk into a store, you can actually have an educated conversation with the bud tender to
That's
figure
right.
out which products are going to be grown in living soil, which products are going to be produced by craft producers, and you'll do much farther, never even touching a bag, by having those standards when you walk into a store. You don't need to do a squish test. I know if I'm
Oh, I
buying
know.
craft cannabis, I'm going to get good quality bud that's not
But
really
it's also
dried out or mass produced or
our
trimmed by a
market is a
machine.
word of mouth market too. So
Yeah,
No,
I
that's
think that, yeah, I think, but there's so many like craft cannabis producers that are two people teams that can't even get out to create that word of mouth marketing. But I know that if you're purchasing with those, with that criteria, you're pretty much good. I mean, once you find a product
well,
that you like, you can stick to it. I know my friend Nikki, she's got
I
Pink
like
Kush.
change. I don't like
Mhm.
smoking the same thing all the time. I usually when I if I purchase bulk,
Mhm.
I'll order a quarter pound because I'll get several different strains. I have ADHD. I have to be very specific.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not going to have a good day.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's definitely like, I know some stores that carry like 2,500 SKUs, so there's definitely a lot of
We
options.
don't have that
Um,
option up here. He's probably got maybe 100,
yeah.
maybe if that.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of really good quality craft products available. Um,
But the
that,
smaller stores, unless you request it, the
yeah,
smaller stores are buying what sells to their store. Right?
they
or
might
they're
have.
buying what they're getting paid to put on the shelf. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
I mean, where I go, uh, the girls will. Can you order this for me? Sure, no problem. And they'll
Yeah.
order it, but they'll charge me their price, not what OCS is charging.
Mm.
Right? And I believe if you order enough through OCS, I've never ordered weed from OCS, only seeds, right? And that wasn't all that eventful, I'll be honest. Okay, that was earlier in this whole shift.
Mm.
I've had some bud that I didn't like. There are some products that I am religious about, Shatterizer products for one. Um, I like Nugs. I like Vortex hash. It's about as close as you can get to what we got back in the day. There's a few products that are really good. I have an issue paying $7 for a can of pop.
Oh, but the beverages are the best thing that ever happened in legalization. Having a nano emulsified live rosin available, that never happened pre-legalization. That's a new thing.
No,
And
but
I love that because you
when you
absorb.
consume 24/7, basically, those don't really affect you at all. They don't do what they need to.
Oh, I would have to disagree with you there. If you're looking for an
It
edible
depends on your
product, yeah,
right.
like
It
the cool
depends on
part
your
about the
health.
nano emulsified live rosin beverages is they absorb through your mucous membrane. So if edibles don't hit you the same way, like because you have a high tolerance, um, going when it needs to absorb through your digestive system, you may have some issues there. Some people are like that; they can't metabolize in their digestive system. Yeah, there's brands like Smile, like Liz just said there, that have 480 milligrams in a bottle, and you just drop it in a beverage. You can infuse anything, your salad if you want to, and that absorbs in your mouth and your mucous membrane lining to your stomach, which means it's a quicker onset, quicker offset. You don't have the 12 to 24 committal that you would to having like a gummy or traditional edible, and
I
that
have
didn't
to eat a whole
exist.
pack of gummies to get any effect out of it at all.
You couldn't drink a 480 milligram from Smile and say that you didn't feel it. There's no
Well,
way. Like
I'm going to
it's
buy
such a
one and prove
cool
you wrong.
do it.
You can only get them right now. They're only available
we
in
we
BC, I
we
believe.
host
Is that true?
we hosted a party, a corporate party
Hmm.
at Dungeonistas, and when I walked in the next day, there was a bag of cookies on the counter, and they were counted at $6.50 per cookie. And I didn't know this before I ate 6 of them.
Hmm.
So so then I had to work all day.
Yeah.
But there's a big difference between dude down the road that just wants to get stoned and have a couple of edibles and have a drink maybe, and somebody that consumes. I consume from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to bed. And
so I got to go back to this smile.
Somebody like Marcel.
I want to go back to this smile first.
Yep.
How much is a can of smile?
I think, well, it's not a can, so it comes in like a 90 milliliter jar, and it is 480 milligrams of
half a gram of
live rosin. Yeah, so you have like this this dosing thing that they give you to measure it out, so that you can dose it properly at home.
Or we have it here.
So we don't have it in Ontario. It's only on the island so far. They're bringing it into Alberta this summer, which is really cool. They're small batch.
Do they have it in Nova Scotia?
Is it alcohol based or oil based?
It's a nano emulsification of live rosin, so it's water soluble. It's not alcohol nor oil based.
So it's not really water soluble. It's just suspended.
It's just suspension.
Yeah, nano emulsifications are water soluble. Mm-hmm. Which is why they don't need to bind to a fat or anything.
Suspension that is in the water. It's suspended in the water.
Mm-hmm.
The little droplet that's encased.
Yeah, so you can put it in your beverages, on your food, pretty much anything, and it will. You'll be able to metabolize it.
So each one would be half a gram of live rosin. So it's not been decarboxylated.
It's nano emulsified, so you could
nano emulsified but nano emulsified is just a suspension of putting it in the liquid.
Mm-hmm.
It's not decarboxylated, so it's THCA, not delta 9 THC.
So you're saying the nano emulsification process doesn't have any heat to it?
No, it's more of a sound wave.
Marcel's like a scientist, just so you know.
Yeah.
He knows a lot about
what I know about nano emulsification is that it can take the live rosin and create it so that it doesn't need anything to bind to, and then also it gets absorbed in a different point of your body. That's the extent of my knowledge on it. That's why I know like beverages like Sheesh and Smile, the ones that do the nano emulsification of live rosin, they do hit harder than your distillate beverage, like any distillate beverage, just because it's more bioavailable for more people, which is kind of nice to see on the market. And I love that they're getting more beverages with the live rosin. And you're starting to see that same nano emulsification be used in gummies now, which is really cool too. Mm-hmm.
That I wouldn't understand why they would do that, but other than a marketing thing, it could be a really good marketing idea, kind of like a CBD pillow, where you can put it's nano emulsified onto everything.
I mean,
because when you break down, nano is microscopic; it's small particles, right? That's the whole idea: is break it down into small particles. Well, when cannabis compounds bind with a natural fat, they become nanoparticles, and they're bound to that fat, right? So that in itself is a nano emulsification.
But level. What if the gummy doesn't have fat in it?
No, but cannabis will bind to a sugar as well. And here's the cool thing is the uptake of cannabis, but the difference between cannabis and bound with a fat and cannabis bound with a sugar is sugar uptake happens in the stomach, right? So your stomach absorbs sugar and the cannabinoids that are attached to it. Also buccally in your mouth. Your sugar gets absorbed in your mouth along with alcohol and some oils. But the uptake for oils happen in the small intestine. So oil takes a little longer, and it takes a little, and it's a different hit.
Yeah.
But if it's bound with the right oils, it's a massive hit.
And so what I'm aware of is for nanoemulsification, it brings the particles so small that it goes into your bloodstream directly in the mouth in the mucous membrane.
Yeah, more or less it would,
mhm.
because it's how small it would. But the advantage what they come up with for nanoemulsification for cannabis was binding it to water. The problem is eventually it'll separate, and it'll go back into its oil state, because it is still an oil. It's just been encapsulated microscopically in a little bubble of water.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Marcel is an interesting story. Marcel is here because he has MS, and he had to learn to use cannabis in all its forms or die, and he did. And this is what he does for how long now, Marcel?
My official diagnosis just came up on my timeline of 17 years. Yeah. So 18 years.
So when you...
But I was supposed to be dead before I was diagnosed, was the problem. But I was stubborn and maybe kind of stupid.
Well, you became a student, and you learned everything you had to do, and he's done it all on his own. I mean, he has help now, but back then, you know,
what help do I have now?
Back then, we had Rick Simpson with an idea, and people kind of ran with that, taking it their own directions and stuff like that. And now we know how to do things a little bit different.
I met Rick Simpson. I tried Rick Simpson.
He's been on the show a few times.
And we had a wonderful chat, and I didn't like his process, so I changed it to make it a medical process.
With the naphtha, a lot of people felt that way. Right?
Yeah, I still feel bad about that. That never should have happened.
That was one thing I was thinking about when Alexis was talking about all the cool products that they have on the market now in the recreational market. I'm like, yeah, so Alexis doesn't know who Marcel is, because Marcel can literally create pretty much any infused. He's done cheesecakes, and he makes these chocolate salty balls and ice cream and all this stuff that like a lot of us can't do.
I guarantee he's having ice cream right now in his coffee.
That's why he grows all his own cannabis. That's why he's like, he would have to go further to the cannabis store to get it. But like, there's like 6 different weed stores in my town, and thankfully I can just go I can go anywhere.
But here's the thing that people don't stop and realize. Think about this. Somebody who worked in that industry refuses to buy anything from that industry. People should ask yourselves, why would somebody be like that?
That's not true.
Really?
That's not true.
Just because
I've worked in that industry, and I won't buy anything from that industry.
Yeah, but you have the ability to make your own.
I know. I have the ability to teach anybody that wants to learn it.
That was the premise back then, when this whole cannabis industry was just being thought of, was grow your own. Excuse me.
Yeah, but I mean, it also depends on what company you worked for and what you've seen while you were in the industry too, right?
Lennie was here and Darcy was here, because Darcy works at an indigenous store, and Lennie is a pharmacist that owns an LP. So we've got hold on, Marcel. We've got all walks of life here on the show.
Why would you call you Marcel? That was fucking
is
rude.
A bud tender.
Fuck, what a guy.
What?
Look, a squirrel.
I don't fucking sound like her.
I don't sound like Marcel. What the hell?
Jeez, that was rude.
All right.
Right?
What you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, we derailed his thought now.
Yeah,
I'm drinking a an ice cap right now that
An
would
infused
pretty much
ice cap.
knock anybody on their ass.
Yeah, your tolerance is a lot higher. I love
Right.
Nikki, not me.
But
I heard you, Nikki.
Yeah, she's got it.
I use cannabis from the time I get up
Mhm.
until the time I go to sleep.
Mhm.
And I use it in several different forms in that period of time.
Yeah,
Lately, my favorite is ice caps
nice.
because I can infuse them with medicated chocolate ice cream. Well, actually, it's mocha because I do espresso in it.
I
That
like
sounds good.
Oh, it's really good. But I can
Mhm.
make anything that I want cannabis wise. I make my own hash, I make my own oil, I grow my own plants. So I
Mhm.
don't need anything from that legal market
Mhm.
because I can set the dosages that I need,
Mhm.
not what they're
Yeah.
dictating to me.
Some people don't have
Because you
that option.
have, yeah, you have the knowledge. I mean, like, let's be honest. If you knew how to grow, you also need space, time,
Mhm.
money. You're going to have to grow it, trim it, and like now you're going to have to process it and turn it into whether you're doing hash
It's a lot
or
of work for
butter
some
or
people.
oil. Yeah, and you know what? When like Alexis said, when you can go to the store that's just down there and pick up something that's already done, it's like you can bake a pie or go buy one from the grocery store.
Yeah.
What do you
I
do?
also don't have the ability to take fresh frozen, make it into live rosin. I don't have that ability to do that. And there's really, really great products on the shelf that I would never be able to amount to even myself. So I think that that convenience, the ability to do that and
I
know
like
that I'm
being
not
able to
gonna,
walk in and purchase, like I said, what I
heck
want.
yeah.
I wish I had more options here specifically,
Yeah,
but I can order online through OCS
Hmm.
anytime I want.
Yep,
yeah,
Um,
100%.
it's nice to have that option.
Yeah.
Obviously, not having to go and see what Buddy down the road has.
Hmm.
You know,
yeah.
not paying. Excuse me, not paying $80 a quarter because the guy wants to make money. Now
Who's charging $80 a quarter? Holy fuck!
that was the
When you live in
standard. That was
Toronto,
the
You
standard
know,
price for high bud, for good bud, back in the day.
Yeah,
Everest, Everest
now
in
it's like
Alberta,
$60 an ounce.
No, hold on. No,
Everest in Alberta, 79.99. Well, we're not
$41
even looking.
for 7 grams.
How much?
Legal. $41.
and you wonder why it was dry.
It's not dry. This product is not dry. I like potluck. I won't buy a small one like
I'm
that
judging.
unless I. You what?
I
Right?
said
You're
I'm
being
judging.
judgy.
Everest is $79.99 for an quarter, and I will gladly pay that any day of the week because it is worth it. It is so good. It is legacy quality, and I love it. And I love supporting the little guys, you know what I mean? The ones that are like trying their best to make it in this world, and I think that that is fine. In Alberta they just launched a $500 ounce. And a lot of people make faces at that and that kind of stuff, but I love the idea of having a top shelf of
Well,
the
that's
cannabis industry.
that top
If the
shelf has been around for a while now. Yeah.
and if
Yeah,
that
but
top shelf continues to develop to be like really, really like amazing quality product, like I think that people have no problem spending $300 on a bottle of Dom Perignon, which tastes like cat pee to me. But like, I think that we need to have that in our cannabis industry
That
as well.
market's been
That
going
dessert
on in
shelf.
California for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That niche of experience, $1,000 bud. That's
Mm-hmm.
been going on down in California since they've been able to do that.
Yeah, 100%. That's why we need it here.
Well, I
but
mean,
don't you?
it's here, but it's just not as visible as down in California because it's a smaller niche. It's a niche market that not many people can afford.
Yeah, it's definitely underdeveloped for sure.
So that's a $500 ounce. It also comes in a beautiful display box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, like Al said, it's experiential at that
Yeah,
point.
it is.
It's not
Or
just
or it could go to the reserve and pick up an ounce for $60.
I was going to say that. As well.
In Alberta,
You know
there's
what?
no sovereign stores. We don't have a single sovereign store here at all. And so not
You're
even
kind of
everything.
sandwiched in between two provinces that do have that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And when I'm in BC, I definitely do shop at the sovereign places that I have a chance to, but
You know,
they're not always around.
they're
Mhm.
popping up the what you call sovereign store or indigenous stores are popping up in Toronto and Hamilton. In Hamilton, you can it's just down the road from McMaster's. You can go in and get legacy res prices at a what they call a legal entity. Or you can just go down to Grand Bend and go to the reservation, right? Or you can pay full price at the legal store. Legal weed has come down in price, and it will continue to come down in price as we go. But I'm talking about the lower end prices. They are going up, and they're going to continue to go up like a fine wine or a champagne, sure. I, like Marcel said, I have no problem going to a reservation market. And I don't mind smalls. You know, you can get some nice bud on a res.
Absolutely, you can. Yeah, they're the original cultivators and caretakers of this sacred plant. So I do 100% support sovereign market. Unfortunately, the stores in Toronto seem to be stirring up a lot of like racism towards Indigenous culture, just because they're kind of looking at them as illicit. But yeah, I definitely like that. I wish there was more options here in Alberta for sure.
Our problem in Nova Scotia is our government really wants the tax money they're not getting from the Indigenous sales. That's all
They shouldn't be
boils
getting
down
it.
to here.
same here.
Okay, so I'm gonna switch things here. Jamie has a question. What's the conversation topic tonight? So that gives
everything cannabis.
Right? But the main conversation that we've been having is about canna. So I want to give Alexis a minute to plug her event and tell people where they can get access to the event and blah 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 blah. Before we're going to listen to what Marijane wants to have to say.
No. First, I want to talk about Camp Canna. I wanted to say it before you give like the where to find it, because people are going to want to find it after they hear what I have to say. Okay, we didn't mention Canna-Olympics. Explain what the heck is the Canna-Olympics and why should people participate? What's at the end for them?
Well, the Canna-Olympics is a fun head-to-head tournament, basically, where people have been training their whole lives for this. But it is about the skills that you would have as a consumer, not necessarily about consumption or the rate in which you can consume. It's mostly just about, can you light a doobie in a hurricane, or can you fill the bong to the right amount of level without the right tools, or especially with legal cannabis, can you even roll a doobie with a glove on your hand? Like, are you able to glove up and roll a joint? Because that's what our legal rollers have to do these days, the ones that are rolling by hand. And so it is definitely it's a fun game. At the very end of it, one of our brand partners, Divi Platinum, has provided your choice of a PS5 or a Nintendo Switch 2 to each winner in each province. So that's 3 gaming systems that they're providing, which is absolutely amazing. And so you definitely
now I want to go just to compete.
We should have wanted to go this whole time, but I mean you want to compete.
No, I'm not going to the other side of the country.
No,
Well, why
when
not?
we
People
come to
come.
your side, when we come to your side, I know Marcel will come.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
had a lot of people
you
reach
got a
out
long ways
for,
to go.
yeah, a lot of people have reached out for an East Coast version of Camp Canna. You know, these events operate $250,000 budgets. It's something that we have bootstrapped this entire way, and I've been pretty proud of our success for sure. But I always want to make sure that we are able to be sustainable in our choices. So our pretty much our rate of growth has been every third year we add a province. So this year we added BC, and I'm really excited to see how that goes off. And the next ad hopefully is somewhere on the East Coast, or we might fill in the middle, just depending on budget and access for sure. Mm-hmm.
What's your URL?
Yeah, tell people.
Campcanna.ca is where you're going to find all the information about the event. You can book a camp concierge call with one of the Vibe Tribe if you have some questions, you want to talk to a real person. We're here to help you. If you don't want to talk to anybody, you can just register online. There's only like a week left to register for Ontario. Our spots are pretty much done in BC. And so, yeah, if you want to get in there quickly. It is all inclusive. We're going to feed you, house you. You're going to have the most fun of your life. And yeah, that's Camp Canna. Or you can look us up on Instagram for camp.canna. We are rebuilding that page this year, but I'm pretty happy to see us get back up to, I think we're just under 7,000 for our community now, which is really cool. And yeah, we got people traveling a far way. I think our farthest traveled campers from Australia.
Oh, nice.
So that is something that we really like, because people are coming to Canada to experience our culture, which I love.
You just put that on Marcel's face.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
Thanks, Marcel. You can
You're
tattoo
welcome.
that to your forehead. I'd appreciate
There
it.
No.
To your gnome forehead. Oh yeah, and I don't think you mentioned Alberta is not until later in the year.
Yeah,
So if
Alberta's
you
always
get
the
your
third
ticket-
weekend in August. It is our third year or our fifth year doing Alberta, so I'm excited to celebrate 5 years. But yeah, that one is my favorite, and it's the week after my
Where in
birthday.
Alberta?
It's in Pine Lake, Alberta, so central.
You need to do something up here.
You need to come down to where I'm already at in Ontario.
I was down in the city last year for a family reunion, and I'm not looking forward to going back. It's not the drive. I mean, it's it's 12-hour drive. It's the everything about the city. I can't.
Yeah, but you're not
We're
going
not in the
anywhere
city.
near the city.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know.
Hey, I was there for a lift. I ain't going back.
Come up here.
I
No.
mean, at the end of the
I've been up
day,
there. No.
I'm gonna stay where I'm at in Ontario, and one day you will come to me. We travel 3,600 kilometers to come towards you. I'm not sure how far the drive is for you, but I think you can make it, and it would be worth it. I'm certain of it.
We'll see.
Mhm.
That's all you
That's
get
what
from
he
me.
tells
Is
me.
we'll
He
see.
tells me the same thing all the time. I never get him out of there. It's not
Mhm.
down.
Yeah,
He's a homebody.
that's fair.
That's why they want me to go live, is because then he gets to go places without actually having to go places.
Ah, yes, I see. Ontario is
No,
kind
I
of
want you to
exclusive,
go
though. There's
live
not
to show us
very
how much fun this place is.
well. You can see that already on my Instagram.
Yeah,
You
it'll be
can see
live.
it
we should have
live
pulled up
as it's
we should have
happening.
pulled up a little video. I'm sorry we didn't.
That's all right. No worries.
Okay, so in all honesty, Marcel, from probably the time that I get there at camp till the time that I leave, I don't check my phone. I turn all my notifications off. I've told my kids I am not reachable. I am out.
Mhm.
And I don't want to be bothered. So like
That's no
the photos that were taken
That is
last year.
so rude.
That's no
I
excuse.
think we should.
Zero. I
rude.
took 0 photos last year. All the photos of me were taken by other people and Camp Canna like media people, because like you're having so much fun. You don't want to look at your phone. You're in the moment. So I'm sorry, but you're not going to be there unless you're there.
Mhm.
You're gonna have FOMO, and that's not my fault.
Tried to warn you. It's really fun though. It's really great.
Oh, I'm sure it
And
is. I'm
you know,
sure.
everybody that says that they, even argue with themselves about coming, they are really grateful that they did at the end of it, which is why it's so inspiring for me to keep going, because this is definitely a hard, not necessarily the easiest path to take, but it's definitely worthwhile for sure. Hmm.
Good.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, it's kind of like what Marcel was saying about Harvest Fest, except it's recreational. There are
Hmm.
medical people, like users like myself, that are there, campers
Hmm.
and whatever. But it's also kind of like a party as well, because there's bands. I know in Ontario, I'm doing a karaoke thing. We're
Can I
having a
vote?
purple party.
Can you put me down for no?
What's the question?
There's no service from Camp Canna, Ontario, so you can't go live
Oh
if you
yeah.
wanted to.
Sure you can.
And as I was
Sure you
saying,
can.
I'm doing karaoke.
Go get
Yep.
sign up with Elon and get a mobile, and then you can. You sure can.
I will actually have internet because I'm running karaoke, but
Yeah.
like I just said, I'm running karaoke from 7 till like 9, and then we're doing the purple party. So
There's a lot of spots up here where you
Scammed
can't
that
get
one good, didn't
signals
you?
on Wi-Fi, but Rogers does a hell of a job. So
Hmm.
you don't have Rogers in Alberta, do you?
I don't use Rogers. No, I'm with Bell. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Hmm.
I
No,
feel
Rogers
like
isn't
I
that
feel
great here.
about Bell like
Do
you
you have
feel
Rogers?
about Rogers,
Yeah.
probably.
Fair. I've also just been with one carrier my whole life. I've had the same phone number my
Which
whole
has
life.
been
I just kind
Rogers
of
for me.
stick to what I got.
I've never
Yeah.
been big on telephones. So when Rogers came
that's
along,
funny.
well, actually, when it was Cantel, I had a brick.
I find that with iPhone and Samsung people, like you're either an iPhone or an Android.
Hmm.
No, I like both. I miss my iPhone, but I prefer the Samsung
Really?
because I
Well,
have the the analog plugs and all that, right? So
it's not surprising because you are strange. I mean,
I'm
unique.
like so deep in the cult. I got the computer, the phone, all the things, and it's nice because you can send pictures and stuff to like
who's
airdropping.
who's
Best ever.
strange, Mary Jane? Who's strange?
3, 2, 1.
It's good.
That's
That cracks
yep.
me up every time.
Every time, every
That
time.
was sauerkraut.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I
That was
was
Mary
like
Jane's
too.
attempt at trying something new every day.
That didn't
You know
last
what?
long, did it?
No.
I want to say I did a lot, but the problem with that was I started it in January, and there's not a lot you can do outside in January. So I was watching a lot of new television shows that I had never seen and eating a lot of new foods, which was kind of counterproductive to my other New Year's resolution, which was to get fit because I was sitting and eating all the time. So now I just say yes to
Are
everything
you
whenever
losing your
somebody asks me.
sunshine girl body, Mary Jane? Being with
Are you
Timmy.
kidding? I'm getting more of it. Look at this.
There we go.
Hell yeah. She's getting training for the
Our
vibes.
little sunshine girl.
Hmm.
Dude, I can do a headstand now for 3 minutes, over 3 minutes.
She did last time I was with her. She was doing headstands in the window of the convention center
Love that.
Speaking
with
of which,
permission from a security guy.
speaking of which, Grow Up is coming up,
Hmm.
the 1st to the 3rd, which is
Hmm.
also at the MTCC in Toronto. So Timmy and I have decided that we are bringing back Booth Zero, and it's going back to its original first location of where we started. So
I
that's where
got
we're going to be. And you're going to Grow Up too.
I got permission from Randy to hotbox the parachute as many times, as many places as I want at Grow Up. So we will have the parachute there to hotbox if you miss it at Camp
Outside.
Canna.
Wait,
Outside, yeah.
inside?
Oh, outside, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Have you seen the Metro Toronto Convention Center?
Yeah, I know. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
And I'll tell you, one of the things that's actually not cool, but just weird about that whole scenario down there during events, cannabis events, you're usually out front, and security will ask you to come closer to the street. But the reason they're doing that is not to keep you away from the door and the odor going in. It's so that people coming in and out of the fucking baseball game can go by you with their kids.
Oh yeah, the pedestrians on the sidewalk. Yeah,
There's
but,
usually a crowd of people going to and from the baseball game that kind of cut through this big cloud of smoke.
Yeah,
downtown.
it's unfortunate because in order to get from the baseball game where the Sky Dome is down to where like the subway station, that's the main strip.
Well, there is the tunnel, the bridges. You can go that way behind, but most people
but it's jammed with cars. And I will say, Alexis, the Metro Toronto Convention Center is like a 3, maybe 5 minute walk from the base of the CN Tower and the Sky Dome, or sorry, the Rogers Center. And there's more than enough space right there by the Ripley's Aquarium to do the parachute. Like there's lots of room down there.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see the photos and the videos because like CN Tower in the background.
Yeah. We haven't hotboxed the parachute in Toronto yet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is it? Just a parachute that you get a bunch of people under? Or
Yeah, like that
back in
parachute
school.
you play with in gym class when you were a kid. Did they have them back then? Yeah. It's one of those, and we get under it and smoke weed.
I think
that was harsh.
I think Al might have sewn the original.
I think
parachute
so. Yeah.
in school.
Part of the OG parachuters. It's like that bright rainbow one, and we've done parachute hotboxes all over the place. We went on tour and we hotboxed it, and all over the island in BC, Alberta. It's quite fun. It's our signature stunt.
I just hotbox my house. If you walk by my house, sometimes you'll see a stream of smoke coming out the window. It's not a fire.
Do you ever set off your smoke detectors in
All
your
the
house?
time. Yeah, all the time.
That's when you know you're having a good sesh. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a smoke detector in the guest room on the wall, more as a deterrent so that nobody smokes in there, because I don't want smoking in the bedrooms, right? I don't smoke in my bedroom. Please don't smoke in yours. But I do consume in the house when I have guests here. And sometimes they know, and sometimes they just walk out of the room and I'm sitting there smoking a joint. But it's my home. It's not a hotel. It's not a business. It's my home. So if you don't have a problem with cannabis, even if you're not a consumer, you're more than welcome. And if you have a problem with cannabis, well, I'm not interested. I'm not available that day.
Yeah, we don't smoke inside just because the kids are here, but we go outside. We got our methods. We have a cool little bubble that keeps us warm in the winter.
We had a room where we consumed, and the kids were not allowed in there.
Yeah.
While we were consuming. Now they're grown up, but now, it's just a matter of, hey, can you give us 10 minutes, please? Come back in 10 minutes. Right? And they know why.
Yeah.
Some of the kids don't understand it. They're really young, but you don't make a big deal out of it. It's no different than somebody sitting down at a table at a family event and lighting up a cigarette. That's my feeling on it. Okay? No different. In fact, I'm more offended somebody lighting up a cigarette beside me than I am somebody, you know. I'd be more like, hey, can I try that? Not of a cigarette. Right? I haven't smoked in 20 some odd years, so.
I don't care. You can smoke whatever you want beside me. As long as it's not kush. If it's kush, I'll just get up and move. So.
And I have.
Yeah. I don't want people smoking a cigarette next to me. No,
Alexis, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I honestly wish that I could come out and enjoy your events. Maybe one day.
It actually sounds fun.
But it is a lot of fun.
Even for some old cranky guy like me.
Especially for old cranky guys like you.
And we could broadcast live. I'll bring internet.
What was that?
I said we could broadcast live because I'll bring my own internet.
Well, we have a radio station for you to use, ready to rock.
I have my own.
Basically, it's doable if you ever want to.
20 years worth. When I started this, when Marcel started with me, we were just doing audio. This is, you know, we're not a video show. We're not a TV show. We're an internet radio station, and most of the conversation that we have, we do it in a way that somebody just listening to the audio, to the podcast, whatever you want to call it, Spreaker, gets the gist without the video. I mean, that's the format we started in, and that's the format that we'll keep going in. I'm sad that I can't do the station 24/7 anymore because I can't play mainstream radio, right? So I make my own music and I play that instead.
Yep.
You know,
fair.
24/7.
I could, but I've only got 209 songs so far. That get boring pretty quick on a repeat.
Start asking for submissions if people have made them.
We're going to be starting that process, and I have a lot of indie artists that send music in that we can use as well. The problem with using indie artists is not everybody's cleared, and Facebook is a pickle when it comes to music.
But what about Suno? Because everything's got to be cleared for that.
I play mine live on Suno or on Facebook. I play music on Facebook all the time that I own the rights to.
Right. Because you created it.
Because I created it.
Yeah. That last song.
You didn't have a problem with that?
No different than a band creating a song that they put out there.
Right. So does YouTube have a problem with that?
No. I've been flagged once for the show we did during the splashdown. Some of the audio bled through, and YouTube caught it.
Yeah.
And blocked that little portion of it. But that's about it, right? I've not had any copyright issues with any of the songs that I've played on from Suno.
So then take
you don't get that luxury with an indie artist because sometimes those indie artists have representations, and those representations have agreements with Facebook for copyright and stuff like that. You know, it's a fickle, unfortunately.
But if you take submissions of Suno music from other developers or whatever you want to call yourselves, and then create a channel there, loop a 24-hour stream
already on
songs.
It. Well, I think that Suno might have a problem with that because they have their own Suno radio area on the site. You know,
cool.
But there's nothing stopping me from saying, "Hey, I like this your song. Do you mind if I play it on my radio station?"
Right.
So, and I think, you know, there's some really, really good stuff out there. There really is. I mean, I'm a fan of the whole AI thing, which is just a natural progression of sitting here on the internet for 40 years. You know, I've been creating content since the early 90s.
40 years?
Well, it's 94 is when the switch went on.
fuck, yeah.
So how long has it been, Marcel?
No.
It has been 31
has-
years since then, because I was born in 92.
Okay,
I'm
so
33.
31 years. But I've been doing graphic arts and photography, long time before that, because I had What's Up Toronto magazine with my sister. So, and you don't get the access to things that you used to now.
See, we were on the internet.
There's too many
in the 80s.
influencers.
Yeah, there's a lot of creators now.
Oh, they're not called influencers; they're called creators now.
Well, it depends
you
on
can-
what they're doing.
I think you could call them influencers if they influence people to do things or buy
I'm
things.
a journalist. I have been for 40 years. So that's what I call myself. I'm a journalist. I used to write for a newspaper, a couple of newspapers, and then my stuff since then. So, I don't write much anymore, but I have. But even journalism is not what it used to be, unfortunately.
Yeah, sad. I went to school for radio and television broadcasting. I thought I wanted to be a news anchor, but I don't like talking about boring news, so that didn't work out. But
I did commercial photography at Humber, right beside the radio broadcasting program. My friend here, Elzora, and I started, along with some other people, her husband and some other friends, started What's Up Toronto, started Lifestyle Radio way back when, because she took that course. I didn't, and we built everything. We built everything from scratch, So, been playing with. We're talking Shoutcast when the only thing you could use was Shoutcast and Winamp. So, the history of online radio is actually quite interesting. It was started initially by AOL wanting to go out there and enjoy free speech. So you can thank AOL for things like this. Like you can thank Sony for tape decks. Shall we say goodnight? Thank you, AOL. Let's say goodnight again. Alexa, very, very much thanks for joining us. Very much.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Please come and visit again. Maybe in between the summer, like halfway between your events or something.
Yeah.
Let us know.
That sounds great.
Show some videos.
A little recap of the first half of the tour.
Since Marijane can't go live.
That's all right.
Won't.
Go. There's just not enough service to do it.
Sorry, boys.
Well, our service is done. Thank you for watching the 420 Radio Show. We're here usually every Friday. And bye-bye. Marcel, wave. Damn it. Come on, Marcel, wave.
I'm waving, but I'm on there. I'm not on that page because I'm on her website. So shh.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.